Yoko better back with another video. What's poppin'? What's good? I am here to do another book review for you guys. You already know. And before I start, do y'all like my shirt? Only the real will recognize, okay? I'm being a total geek today. Y'all know I love books and all type of stuff like that. So I was like, oh, why not wear a shirt from one of my favorite books, which is Harry Potter. I am not a Gryffindor, though, because I took the test on Pottermore. I'm actually a Hufflepuff. But this was the only one that they had in the store that I bought it from, which was Forever 21. So I was like, I mean, I don't care. You know, Harry Potter is a Gryffindor. So I'm a rep for Harry Potter and buy me a Gryffindor shirt. Eventually, I will get me a Hufflepuff one. But anyway, that is not the reason why we are here today. We are here today, as you can see from the title, to talk about the second installment of the Carter series. The Cartel series, which is the Cartel 2 Tale of the Murder Mamas. So you guys, if you watched my first review on the Cartel 1, which you should have watched before you're even watching this video. So if you haven't watched it, stop this video, go watch that video so you can know what happened in the beginning of this series. Then come back and watch this video. Give you some time. Time up. So let's just get into the book right now. First, I love the cover of this book. Once again, this is one of the new covers. You know, they have older covers that first came out when the book first came out, but they redid the covers for some reason, and I really like this one. It has like some pearls with some blood and stuff, and a bracelet or whatever. You got a city skyline down here. Real cute, real different. I like it. So let me read the back of the book for you guys. Diamonds are forever, or are they? The cartel runs Miami, and loyalty to their organization runs deep. But when someone breaks the rules, things may be beyond repair. A snitch in the crew has dismantled the notorious cartel, and now disloyalty threatens to tear the family apart. Young Carter is in the fight for his life as he faces drug kingpin charges due to the treachery of his best friend Ace. Kidnapping, murder, deception, and seduction fill this highly anticipated sequel. Will Zaire find out that Breeze is still alive? Will Mecca be exposed as his brother's killer? Is Mia Moore dead or alive? Ashley and JaQuavis are back with the Cartel 2. Their twisted tale of deceit will have you on the edge of your seat, trying to figure out what happens next. Now, when I mean they're not lying, this book had me on the edge of my seat, just like the first one. You guys have seen how I reacted to the first book. This one is no different. So let's get into it. So the Cartel 2 starts off where the Cartel 1 ends, obviously. And at the end of that book, which I didn't mention in the first book review, but I'll mention it here now because I will hope that you guys kind of already read that book. That's why you're watching this one. But anyway, Carter gets indicted on kingpin charges, obviously, and Mia Moore is rushing to go bail him out. But little does she know, Mecca is not letting her get away because, you know, they hate each other. They hate each other. Mia Moore has killed some of his family members. He has killed her sister. So, like, the hate is beyond measure between these two. And Mecca kidnaps her before she could get to Carter. He brings her down to this torture basement. He strips her naked of all her clothes, ties her to the chair, and he is beating her senseless. He wants her to feel his wrath because she has done the most disrespectful thing in the world to him by killing some of his family members. So he has beaten her into unconsciousness. She finally wakes up and realizes where she is, and she is going like bananas. She's not really scared per se because she is like, you know, I have killed so many people in my life that this is not a surprise to me about how I'm about to die. You know, like, I wouldn't have expected it to be any other way, but she still is low-key scared of Mecca, and Mecca is the only person that kind of puts a little fear in her heart because she feels like Mecca is somewhat her equal in the murder game or whatever. He's just as treacherous. He's just as doesn't give a damn about anybody's life or whatever as much as her. So basically, her life is flashing before her eyes because she knows she's about to die. So now, as her life is about to flash before her eyes, the story flips to Breeze. Now, Breeze also was kidnapped. Like, it's a lot of kidnapping in this book. She was kidnapped in the first book by Mati, which is the Haitian kingpin that killed Carter Diamond and killed a lot of their goons and stuff like that from the cartel. He was initially going to kill Breeze in retaliation of the killings that the cartel had did towards him, but he kind of fell in love with Breeze, so he didn't kill her, and he whisked her away to Haiti while she is unconscious or whatever. And the man is a freak or whatever, so he is torturing a Breeze. Also, he's raping her, he's molesting her and stuff like that. And before this, Breeze was a virgin, and she was like low-key about to lose her virginity to Zaire, which is one of Carter's old friends that became like his right-hand man also after Ace betrayed him, even though they were already friends. But like after Ace betrayed him, he was like next to step up or whatever. And Breeze and Zaire was having a relationship together, and they were like falling in love with each other because Carter had like put Zaire to protect Breeze because of everything that was going on. And since they spent so much time together, they grew a bond. And yeah, but then she was kidnapped, and now Mati has stripped her of her innocence and has raped her, and Zaire was not able to take her virginity and take her flower and pop her cherry and all that stuff or whatever. Like, it's not funny, but you know what I mean. So he's really sad about that. But Breeze is suffering, and she's just trying to get away from Monty. He's got her locked down in this like little base. It wasn't really base. It's a basement, but it's like a basement that's like furnished or whatever. And he is just torturing her. She's like in the depths of Haiti, in like they call it the Black Mountains, and he's the only one that lives up there. And it's hard for anybody else to get through the jungle because it's like a jungle. Then it's a mountain that you have to hike through, and he knows it because I guess he grew up around there. And he's like, you might as well not even fight me, girl, because your family doesn't know where you are. They think you're dead. You're not going to get through the jungle if you do escape, so you might as well just get used to being here. Now, meanwhile, Carter is in jail, facing kingpin charges and stuff like that because his friend Ace snitched on him, which was like his best friend. Like, they grew up together, and he snitched on him. But the only reason why he snitched on him is because he had got caught slipping, and he had drugs in the car, and the DEA or whoever it is gave him like a deal out, like, oh, if you snitch on the cartel and Carter, then we'll give you lesser years or whatever. And they put him in witness protection, but that's not gonna go well. So yeah, and I'm just like, damn, you snitched on your own man. Like, you wasn't supposed to take no type of deal with them. You knew what type of life you were living, so you knew it was a chance that you were gonna get arrested. You knew snitching is not an option. So I didn't feel bad for Ace or anything. So Mecca's on his head trying to kill him. So Mecca was like, you either get amnesia when you get up on that stand, or I'm gonna kill your baby son. And it is what it is. So Ace got amnesia. They didn't go to trial yet, but he was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything, just don't kill my son. So yeah, that was that. So now we go back to Mia Moore while she's in the basement, and she's having flashbacks of her life and how she got here. So they go back into the past about how she became a murder mama and stuff like that. So now we're in 1995, and her sister Anissa not really her, but her sister Anissa was being molested and raped by their stepdad. And it was just so terrible. The way that Ashley and JaQuavis wrote the scenes in the book, it really like made me feel some type of way. I mean, I wasn't molested or raped or anything, but they were written in so much detail, like to the point like I was literally in tears. Like, it was so sad that this man was molesting this her sister was 14, Anissa was 14, and Mia Moore was 12. And like, why would you do that to a child? Why would you do that to anyone or whatever? And it was just so sad. And I really commend the way that Ashley and JaQuavis wrote it, because it felt so realistic or whatever. And I'm like, if in a book, if you can make me feel emotions like that, you have done your job. So like, I was just so like upset, to the point I was like, yeah, I gotta put this book down for a minute because I cannot continue to read this. But anyway, Mia Moore was so sad for her sister to the point she was like, you know, to her stepdad, like, leave her alone. You could take me. You hurting her. You hurting her. And he was like, no, I don't want you or whatever. So then Mia Moore got so upset with it that she went into her mother's closet and she got her gun and she shot him and she killed him because he was hurting her sister. So the police came or whatever, and the mother was just a fucking deadbeat type of mother herself or whatever, and she let them arrest Mia Moore, and the judge sentenced her to 6 years in jail because Mia Moore, like, didn't feel any remorse. She was like, you know, if I had to do it again, that's my sister. I'm going to protect her at all costs, even though I'm the younger sister, but I don't want anybody hurting her. And she was just like, yo, if I had to do it again, I would kill him. So they gave her 6 years in jail. So from 12 to 18, she was in juvenile detention. She finally gets out. Anissa was keeping in touch with her, visiting her all the time, putting money on her books or whatever. So their bond was still very strong through the 6 years that Mia Moore was in jail. Mia Moore finally gets out of jail, and Anissa's doing very well for herself. She picks her up. She's in like nice clothes, all type of stuff. She got a new boyfriend, and his name is Murder, which I would be a little skeptical, like, why is this man named Murder? But whatever. So Anissa is so happy to see her. They're so happy to see each other because they've been away from each other for so long. Anissa brings Mia Moore to her house. They're living together and they're telling Murder all the stories about when they were younger and stuff like that. Murder has always heard about Mia Moore ever since, you know, he got with Anissa, so he knows a little something, and they just rekindling and reminiscing and all types of stuff. Mia Moore really didn't think much of Murder, but she kind of knew that he was like a street nigga. Like, obviously his name is Murder, so she just, you know, was like, okay, he a little, you know, he's street. But from the way that her sister dressed and stuff like that, you know, she had diamonds and really, really nice, expensive clothes. She knew her sister didn't have a regular 9-to-5 kind of job, so she was just like, what are y'all into? You know what I mean? So as time went on, Murder keeps this like phone that only he answers. Like, Anissa doesn't answer it. Nobody's supposed to answer it, but Mia Moore didn't know, and she answered it one day, and Murder really got kind of upset with her a little bit, like, you know, don't touch this phone, leave it alone. And Mia Moore is like, all right, calm down, not that deep, like, you a little shiesty or whatever, but, you know, I'm gonna put the bug in my sister's ear, like, yo, what's up with him or whatever, you know? So one night, Anissa and Murder got into a heated argument, not about Mia Moore and that whole situation with her and Murder, but they got into a argument, like, Murder didn't come home, and usually, even though he's out in the street, he lives that street life, she was like, at the end of the day, you need to come home, and he didn't. And when he finally did, Anissa was like, yo, you know, what's up with you? He was like, you know, mind your business, I don't want to hear nothing from you, don't ask me no questions, and he left. Anissa dragged Mia Moore out, and they followed Murder. Come to find out, Murder was tailing this one guy, and when they got there, shit kind of hit the fan, and Murder and the guy got into an altercation, a fight or whatever, and the guy was trying to kill Murder was trying to kill him. It didn't work out. Since Anissa and Mia Moore followed him, they went to go help him or whatever, and it was just mayhem. After a scuffle, Mia Moore got the gun and she killed the guy, right? So she's like, you know, she's panicking, like, oh my god, like, I just got out of jail, I just killed this man for this guy or whatever. And it's just like, you know, it's all this stuff or whatever. So Money is like, you know, get in the car, drive or whatever. The police are coming, I'll distract them while you guys get away. The police come, he kind of like sideswipes the police a little bit. They follow him and they don't follow Anissa and Mia Moore, and he winds up getting locked up and going to jail. So now we're back to the present, and Carter gets out of jail after Mecca makes the threat towards Ace. Then we're back in Haiti, and Breeze is trying to escape Monty's clutches once again, and she runs out of the house, even though usually he had like the doors deadbolt, but he was doing something that he had to undo the locks, and she took her opportunity and she ran out. But like he said, it's a jungle, so she didn't know like where she was going or whatever, and she's running in the jungle or whatever, and she's trying to hide behind trees, and he's chasing her or whatever, and she gets bit by a snake and she passes out. He takes it to the hospital, reluctantly takes it to the hospital because he doesn't want anybody to know that he has her captive down in his house or whatever. So as they're talking, the doctor's like, well, sir, you have to stay outside while I go and take care of her. And he's just like, I don't want to leave her side because I don't want to say anything. If she say anything, I'm going to freaking kill her or whatever. Like, you know, and Breeze is so shook up. Like, she's just trying to get away from him. Like, she hates him. She doesn't want to be around him. He's hurting her so bad or whatever. So she tries to tell the nurse, and the nurse could realize like something wasn't right every time he was around. Like her blood pressure, like her not blood pressure, her heartbeat would go up because she was on the monitor or whatever. So that's another reason why she was telling him, like, sir, just step out or whatever. As she's talking to the doctor, she's telling the doctor, like, oh my God, like, could you please help me? Could you please help me? Or you know what I mean? And so the doctor's like, you just need to calm down. And she steps out. So Breeze sneaks out of one of the rooms that she was in and goes to another room to find a phone. She calls Zaire. Zaire thinks like he's hearing things like a ghost is calling him or something like that. And he's like, who is this? Or whatever. But he could tell it's her voice. And he was like, Breeze, 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 or whatever. But Monty and the doctor was coming back. So she's being quiet because she's like hiding or whatever. And the doctor comes in and is like, what are you doing? So she's like, I just need them to leave so I could tell Zaire where I'm at. And she could hear him calling her, but it didn't happen. She wasn't able to tell him. The doctor comes in and she's still trying to calm her down. So she writes down Zaire's number and was like, please help me call this number and tell them where I am. Monty comes back and takes her back to his house or whatever. So she wasn't able to call Zaire back or whatever. So then the doctor is like, I don't want to get into these people business, but it doesn't seem right why this girl is so scared of this man, or why every time he's near that, she's acting weird. So she calls Zaire, and Zaire is like, is somebody playing a prank on me? She's like, yeah, I had a Breeze Diamond here. And he's like, Breeze Diamond? She's like, yeah, she's here in Haiti. And he's like, in Haiti? Like, they thinking that she's dead. Like, they didn't have a memorial and all types of stuff for her or whatever. So he calls up Carter, calls up Mecca. They immediately take a trip to Haiti. Wait, pause. So after the doctor said, like, she's in the hospital somewhere, Zaire thinks that Breeze is in the hospital somewhere in LA. He doesn't know that she's away in Haiti because the doctor still wasn't able to tell him that, oh, she's in Haiti. So he calls up Carter and calls up Mecca, and Carter's like, check every hospital that you can find in LA and see if they have a Breeze Diamond. He does that. He goes to his last hospital that he hasn't checked, and he's starting to give up hope and stuff. And the lady at the desk says, we have a Jane Doe here. She hasn't been claimed in a few months or whatever. So he's thinking it's Breeze. He goes in, it's not Breeze. But he calls Carter like, yo, Carter. And Carter's like, yo, what's up? Did you find Breeze? He was like, no, I found Mia Moore. Carter rushes there or whatever, and he's thinking like, oh my God, I'm thinking Mia Moore is like, she skipped town or something like that, but she's here, she's all beaten up or whatever. So Mecca comes, but they hadn't told Mecca that it wasn't Breeze. So he comes in there and he's thinking it's Breeze, and when he goes, and they trying to tell him like, yo, we found, her, but it's not who you think it is. He brushed past him. It's Mia Moore. He tries to kill her kind of in front of Carter, and Carter's like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Like, you need to calm the fuck down. Like, calm down, my nigga. So they found out that Breeze was in Haiti. They go to Haiti, and they ready to kill whoever has her. And they know it's kind of Monty because they had beef with the Haitian cartel. Breeze is in Haiti. Put two and two together, it's Monty, right? They find where Monty lived, and they go on guns blazing to go get Bree. Meanwhile, as they're looking for her, guns blazing, Breeze has come to the realization, I cannot take this torture anymore. Nobody's going to find me. I got out of here, but it still didn't work. I miss my family. I miss my father. I miss my brothers. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to live on this earth anymore in this man clutches or away from my family. I'm just going to end it all. And she hangs herself. As she's hanging herself, they're running through the house trying to find her, and she dies. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, they couldn't get there before the girl killed her damn self. So now it's back to the past, and Mia Moore and Anissa's money is running low ever since Murder went to jail. And the phone that he keeps ringing off the hook, or whatever. And he like, Mia Moore's like, we need to pick up this phone. And Anissa's like, for what? Like, we don't know who's on the other end of that phone. I think we should just not leave it. I think that we should just leave it alone. Mia Moore is like, well, we're running out of money. We need to do something. They pick up the phone. They find out that Murder is a contract killer, and he is like murder for hire. So the person on the other end was like, do y'all want to make some money? I know Murder's locked up, but how about y'all? They take their first job. When they take their first job, this is where they meet Robin and Aries. And meeting them wasn't intentional. It just so happened that the guy that they had a hit out on, Robin and Aries were trying to get him too, but they were just trying to rob him, not trying to kill him. So they wound up naming their little girl group of contract killer girls the Murder Mamas, because Murder used to call Mia Moore Little Mama. So she was his little mama and he was Murder, and they murdered people, so Murder Mamas. That's how the name became a thing. So the girls, you know, they're doing good. They're getting all type of contract kills to kill people, but they like, you know, we're tired of being in New York, let's go down to Miami. And that's how the whole cartel thing gets put into play. Monty calls them to take out the cartel. There you go. Wraps up the story, kind of. Well, that story. Now it's back to the present. Aries and Robin still haven't heard from Mia Moore. They don't know that Mecca has kidnapped her, has beat her ass, she's in the hospital. They don't know. So they're like, you know, we're going to LA. Miami has run its course just like New York did. It's time to move on. They're cleaning out their stuff. They found all these letters between Mia Moore and Murder since Murder had been in jail. And they're like, you know, we remember Mia Moore telling us about this guy, and, you know, he's the reason why who we are today or whatever. They write him because they think like, oh, he's the only person that could talk Mia Moore out of, you know, chasing after Carter or whatever. And he writes back and he's telling them like, you know, well, I'm getting out in a couple of weeks, so, you know, I'll take care of my little mama or whatever. So long story short, Murder gets out of jail and he's trying to find Mia Moore and stuff like that. Mia Moore winds up telling Carter everything that she has done to his family and how she met him. Well, even though she didn't know that he was in the cartel, but how she met him, and after she realized who he was, that she was going to kill him and use him to get to Mecca and everybody. And Carter just loses it. He kicks this girl out, was like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Murder finds her. She's like, oh my God, Murder, you're out of jail. After that, Murder is like, you know, I'm going to kill Carter because I don't like Mia Moore being in love with any other man than me. Yes. Murder, Robin, and Aries try to set up Carter to get killed by Murder. Mia Moore finds out. She tries to stop it. Carter falls for the bait or whatever and goes to the warehouse to meet. And Murder's there. He tries to kill him. They have a whole guns flying altercation with her. And Mia Moore comes and they're basically telling Mia Moore, you need to choose sides. You want to be with him? You want to be with me? Mia Moore can't pick. She cannot pick. She's like, you know, I love you, Murder, because, you know, you're the reason why I'm here right now, but I've fallen for Carter. Like, I really, really love him. Like, he is who I want to be with. So they're telling her to choose. She picks up the gun because the gun somehow fell on the floor or whatever, and she's just like, who do I choose to kill? Who do I choose to kill? Who do I choose to kill? Then Mecca comes out of nowhere, and he shoots Mia Moore in the head. Yep. You heard me right. He shoots Mia Moore in the head. After Mecca shoots her in the head, Carter and Murder scream and they light Mecca's ass up with bullets. So now Murder and Carter are trying to wake Mia Moore up, but it's over. Like, Mecca shot her in the head or whatever, so she's dead. Mecca's dead. He's about to reunite with the rest of his family or whatever. And they're trying to shake her to wake her up. She's not waking up. She's not waking up. But they're shaking her. Wake up, whatever, whatever. Then it switches. And you hear somebody yelling at Mia Moore like, wake up, bitch. It's the guy Fabian that they cut his penis off in the first book. Come to find out, Mia Moore is not dead. She dreamt all of this, except for the part when she was younger with her sister. But Bree's killing herself, she being found in the hospital, going back to Carter, telling Carter what happened, all this shit was a dream. Guys, do y'all not understand how pissed I was at the end of this motherfucking book? Because I'm like, hold up, because I know. So Mecca's not dead. Breeze is not dead. Monty is not dead. Ace is not dead. Nobody's dead. she dreamt all this stuff. This was like her life flashing before her eyes, even though it wasn't her life. But this is like all the stuff that went through her head as she went into unconsciousness. Her sister is still dead, though, because that happened before this. But murder, getting out of jail, didn't happen. Like, none of this stuff happened. Murder and Carter going at it. None of this stuff happened. Guys, I'm fed up. Okay? And that's how the book ended. Until the third book. So! This book was good, but I just didn't like that all that stuff didn't happen. So I was a little upset. I'm like... All in all, I give this book... I give it 4.5 unicorns just because everything was a dream. Now, if it wasn't a dream, I would have given it 5 of 5 or whatever. But yeah, Ashley and JaQuavis, y'all know how to keep a girl on her toes, on the edge of her seat. Y'all know what y'all doing. I love it. Alright, you guys, that's all I have for today. Please give this video a thumbs up for more book reviews if you enjoyed them. If you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? I ask you guys that all the time. If you're watching this video, hit that subscribe button. Also, click that little bell button next to the subscribe button so you can know every time I upload, because YouTube be tripping. Also, if you want to be friends on all social media, please follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. All that good stuff is always down in the description box. If you're interested in me doing a book review on a book that you have written, please contact me by email. It's down in the description also, and we could further talk about it through email. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you in the next video.